What's up, everybody? My name is Josh LaFleur from Late Start Piano. Today we're going to be affirming or confirming to you, if you're an adult, that you did start piano at the correct time in life. So I know, especially as an adult, you're kind of looking around at other people. You're looking at this 12-year-old kid on YouTube or this 35-year-old adult on YouTube who's playing piano exceptionally well. And it's very easy to feel down on yourself when you're just starting out because all you can play is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And you're looking at this person who's 20 years younger than you, 30 years younger than you, who's playing some kind of Beethoven sonata or something crazy, or Chopin, some kind of etude or something like that. And I'm going to let you know that you did start piano at the right time, even if it doesn't feel like it. And I'm going to give you logical reasons as to why this is the case. First of all, a little bit about me. I started piano at the age of 25, so I'm kind of in that boat of starting later in life for piano players. A lot of people, they start at 5 years old, 7 years old, 12 years old, or even let's say 14 is considered late in the piano world because a lot of people start so much younger and they work all the way up and they go to music school and all that. But you can still play the piano at any age. It doesn't matter if you're 25 like me, if you're 45, 65, or 85 years old, it doesn't matter. Anybody can start the piano at any time. And I'm going to tell you some reasons as to why it doesn't matter either. First of all, people can learn anything at any age. As long as your cognitive abilities aren't declining, as long as you're physically capable of moving your hands and your body, and you have control physically over your body, and you have all your mental faculties, then people can learn anything at any age. Okay, there's not like a time limit where you can stop learning. It's not like you hit 50 years old and all of a sudden your brain can't absorb new information. That's not how it works. It's not like you hit 75 years old and it's impossible for you to learn anything new at all. That's not the case. If anybody's older that's watching this, you know this because you've learned stuff in older years as you got older. It might be more difficult if you're older because you might be set in your ways. You might be not as quick, not as sharp mentally. Even if you have all your faculties, you might not be as sharp mentally as you were when you were 25, and your brain not be like the sponge as it was like when you were younger. A good example of this is like a kid who's like 4 or 5 or 7, and they might have bilingual parents. And they have these parents, they learn Spanish, they learn English, whatever, at a younger age, and it's much easier for them to absorb two different languages when they're younger versus when you get older. It's not to say that you can't learn it when you get older, but it might be a lot easier for you when you were younger initially. Another good thing about starting later in life at the piano is chances are you're starting to play because you actually want to. So it's not like when you're a kid and maybe your parents are paying for your piano lessons, or your teacher's kind of forcing you to play the piano even though you don't really want to, and they're making you practice for an hour a day or 20 minutes a day because they're investing in you. If you're an adult and you're choosing to play the piano, it's because you want to. You don't have a parent over you that's forcing you to do it. You don't have a teacher over you that's forcing you to do it. Nobody's forcing you to do anything because you have control over your time, hopefully, and you have control over your finances. You make your own money. So people can't tell you what to do with your own money. You're paying for piano lessons because you want to. And the good thing about that is hopefully you won't get burned out as quickly. So for example, a lot of people when they're younger, it doesn't even have to be piano related specifically. It could be anything. It could be sports. It could be drawing. It could be writing. It could be anything. If people are forced into doing something as a kid, they don't really want to do it. They get burned out when they get to, let's say, their 20s or their 30s, and they don't have that person who is holding them accountable for doing what they should be doing. Right? It's kind of like the cliche of somebody who is a kid and they have these helicopter parents over them, and they basically are super strict, kind of military style. They go to bed at 8 p.m., they wake up at 4 a.m., they do exactly what they're told when they're told to do it. Then they go off to college and they have this newfound freedom, and some people can get carried away with that, right? They maybe do things that they're not supposed to be doing. They might cut class. They kind of rebel a little bit as they get older because now they've kind of escaped the helicopter parents. I'm telling you all that to tell you that there are good things to starting piano later in life. So don't feel bad if you didn't start at an early age, because if you're starting later in your life, then you were supposed to start later on. Again, for all those reasons I just listed out as well. Another good thing you want to think about as well is no matter when you start, you can always have the mindset or the mind frame that you could have started later. So if you're kind of kicking yourself in the butt and you're upset that you did not start playing the piano earlier on in life, you can always kind of flip it around mentally so it's a little bit more positive. And you can say, well, yeah, I could have started earlier on, but I started today, and that's great as well. I could have started 10 years later, right? So if you start today and then 5 years from now, if you keep with it, you now have 5 years of playing experience. Now you don't have to worry about those next 5 years, if that makes sense. You have those 5 years experience, and now you at least have that time you already started with. You're not starting from scratch 5 years from now. So I hope that all that helps. Again, my name is Josh LaFleur from Late Start Piano. Those are just a few reasons why starting later in life is not necessarily a bad thing. If you like what I said here today, I do have a free PDF on my website. You can just go to www.latestartpiano.com. It's going to be a big, bright purple button on that page. It's a free guide, specifically 34 essential tips that adult beginners need to know when learning the piano. This is going to help you avoid a lot of mistakes that I made when I first started. It's going to save you a lot of time, and it's going to get you on the right track, especially if you don't have a teacher who is kind of guiding you through the way. So if you're interested in that, again, it's completely free. All you have to do is go to latestartpiano.com, enter in your name, enter in your email address, and you'll have instant access to that free guide. Happy practicing.